Shalom. We want to start with giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Waharuka Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching the scriptures, among other things. And salutations to Akim across the earth doing his work in sincerity and truth. Shalom. So this video I want to go into, basically the thing that's going on, that's cooking up, the Mosai is stirring up the things, those imposters, those small heads, those demons, those Amalekites, they're being exposed, and more people start to see them for the devils that they are, and don't get me wrong, this all the things are going on, concerning people be like Free Palestine, in the Free Palestine movement and all that shit, even here in Holland, they started in America, on the universities, basically taking the location over here. Also, they did it with tents and all that, and they even took it to the, of course, you got the Euro Song Festival. They even took it to that stage, and now it seems that the Dutch dude who was taking part, with the thing, he's it seems that he punched a journalist in the face because he said something about his parents. I believe both his parents died and all that shit. And he he doesn't like those that Israeli demon singer, and it's something like she wanted to be on a picture with him, and then he put a flag of Holland on his over his head. And you also had that female from Greece, every time when that demon from Israel was talking, she was yawning and all that, so it's beautiful to see. And don't get me wrong, I don't give a fuck about this Palestine people either, because they are all enemies, man. Matter of fact, let me jump real quick to the book of Second Maccabees. That's it first. That's first. Let's see. The book of First Maccabees. Give me one moment. First Maccabees chapter 2 and 10. What nation had not a part in the kingdom and gotten of a spoil, showing that all the heathens, all the nations outside the nation of Israel are against us, So they are all our enemies. Yeah, our number one enemy are the Edomites, and starting with the head tribes, the Amalekites, and that's those people that live in Israel. That's the head tribe of Esau. They are our number one enemy, But nevertheless, all the other heathens are also enemies. So, like I said, I don't give a fuck about these Palestinians, And these Israelis, they be murdering a lot of them, So a lot of crazy clips, But also these Palestinians also, of course, they're fighting back. But, these Israelis been murdering them for years, And, they take over an hospital and then they find a mass grave there, stuff like that, So a lot of shit going on. And it's beautiful because it's showing us, I say that it's showing us that the end is near, By these things going on, it shows us that the end is near, Let me see. This is the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah. So by seeing all these things going on, Russia also warned the West, like if they keep interfering, that he's gonna take it to the next level. I believe a couple of days ago they were testing some tactical nuclear weapons. And Russia ain't playing, man. You got the media, try to I said fool the people, let them think that Ukraine really got a chance against Russia and this and that, talking about it, and now they are, people are panicking over there. They I said that they had two generals or something, two high officers or ministers were had to resign. They basically dismissed them. And they want the men to enter into the army, and they even make prisoners. They have a choice to stay in prison or fight for Ukraine. Meanwhile, the West been providing them with all kinds of shit, talking about the Russia got old weapons and this and that, Meanwhile, they be fucking up, I said that they dropped some ears in Germany, they they fucking with the Dutch technology. They even make, I believe it was Finland, the whole airport had to was not able to fly their planes, because they messing up the GPS systems, things like that. They are doing. I remember like months ago, they had like an airplane or something, and he was flying above a Dutch Navy ship, and they cut off the radio contact. So the ship was, I believe, even they couldn't even steer the ship, and they make sure that they couldn't have contact with other ships. So, and Russia was basically just showing the skills, the things that they are able to do. Showing basically showing Holland and other countries, the West, like they got technology that's shit. But you got to keep in mind, a lot of the majority of the countries in Europe, they always have been involved in whatever kinds of war, so they were always busy. Meanwhile, Russia had all this time to develop its technology and all that, and strengthen its army, and it's all prophecy. They think they got a chance against Russia, but that's not the way it's gonna go, And like I said, I don't give a fuck about Russia neither, They are all enemies, and of course you got the people everywhere. But yeah, if you don't come to Yahweh Basham Yahushai, like Yahweh Shai said, you're still an enemy, Like Yahweh Shai said in the book of Luke. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Then go back, and I'm gonna read the article a little bit. It was funny. It was funny to see that. It's real funny to see that. Let me see. The book of Luke. This is the book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 27. But those my enemies. So these are the words of Yahweh Shai, who the world unknowing calls Jesus. His real name is Yahweh Shai, and the name of his father is Yahweh. So this is what he said. This is the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So you're either with Yahweh Shem Yahushai or you are against it, So that's very clear. So back to the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So by seeing all these things going on, rumors of war, things in Gaza, and that's the value of Yahweh Shabbat, when the Mosai is heating the things up, countries being lured to that area, So let me go into the article a little bit. So this is from the Eindhoven's Dagblad, So MA stops Amsterdam protest, 36 arrests and 5 injured officers. Now they have Mark Kutte response, but fuck him anyway. And it's funny, they were like letting them going on for days, and then if eventually they decided to basically clear the university, of Amsterdam. They were spraying it with fire foam and all kinds of shit, throwing shit, and that those police officers were beating them down and all that. It was beautiful, man. It's beautiful to see, man. 36 demonstrators were arrested on Wednesday during the demonstration on the Binnenhouse of the University University of Amsterdam in Amsterdam and on the Rokin. The police report that they have been arrested for public violence, destruction, assault, and incitement. 5 officers were injured. Outgoing President Mark Rutte condemns the protest at the UVA on X. The riot police also had to act in Utrecht to remove pro-Palestinian demonstrators from university buildings, so they were there also. After an evacuation on the Binnengasthuis grounds, the situation threatened to escalate with hundreds of demonstrators on the Roken, but after charges from the riot police, most demonstrators fled. A small group still gathered on Remmertplein, but it soon became quiet there. What happened at the beginning of the evening on Wednesday? The police started ending the pro-Palestinian demonstration on the Binnengasthuis grounds on the authority of Major Femke Halsma, which is also a small head, small head demon, Amalekite. Police officers used batons to break through the barricades, which were broken with a shovel. Protesters were arrested and taken away. At least 2 people were injured. One demonstrator jumped onto the shovel and from there into the canal, where he was rescued from the water by other activists on the other side. The demonstrators were driven towards the UVA building, where the officers sometimes pushed through the crowd with batons. The police also cleared the Ouderzijds Achterbrug wall, where hundreds of sympathizers stood. They chanted slogans such as "Shame on you" and "Free, Free Palestine." When they ignored requests to leave, police took action. Hundreds of demonstrators then went into the Roken. Then went to Roken, where they blocked the street. The situation was restless all evening. Protesters removed materials and fences from a construction site to build barricades and pelted police with objects. The demonstrators were chased towards Muntplein with batons and police dogs. According to the police, they threw ammonia at the riot police. One of the riot police got the poisonous liquid in his eyes. And shouted for water. Conscious confrontation. According to the police, not only students are participating in the protest, there is information that among the demonstrators that are people who are not affiliated with the university, and councillors want to confront the police. The police do not report what that information is, but that's also a thing, because during the C19, they had those people what they call the Romeos, and they basically were getting the people roused, starting to push around, when the people were having like a non-violent protest, they want to have a non-violent protest against the lockdowns and things like that. And then you had the group, coming out of like 6 or 7 or 8. I don't remember the amount of people, but they had a couple of dudes, they were dressed in regular clothes, and they just, they released him from a police van, and they went into the crowd and started pushing, and then people got aroused and got riled up, and basically, riled up, not aroused. People got riled up and basically start pushing and fighting, and then they had a reason to beat them down and arrest them, That's the thing that they like to do. So, and also with this, with these people from pro-Palestine, they had all the faces covered up, so people basically don't know who they are, The Binnengasthuis site has been occupied since Tuesday afternoon by activists who want the university to break all ties with Israel. The University of Amsterdam has reported trespassing and vandalism because safety in and around the building was at risk. According to the UVA, local residents felt unsafe due to the blockade, and major destruction was caused in the occupied buildings. The demonstrators have left enormous devastations inside. The walls also have been defaced with slogans. You see that a lot of people getting up, The university board held 2 consultations with a delegation of demonstrators on Wednesday about the occupation. The students want, among other things, that the university makes more information public about it ties with Israel institutions that are complicit in the genocide on Gaza and that the university severed those ties. They did not want to leave until all their demands were met. Despite efforts and willingness on both sides to have conversations, we cannot reach an agreement together at the moment, the UVA said in a statement. There is no room in the demands that the activists had formulated, and the UVA cannot meet all demands. To assure Major Halsema, the chief public prosecutor and the chief of the Amsterdam police, say they have major concerns about the form of the protest. Demonstrating is a fundamental right, but demonstrators who destroy other people's property and block public space cross a line and are guilty of criminal behavior, they said in a joint statement. Beautiful dramatic picture, man. You can see this is a post, man. This is a fucking post, man. See this dude look like at first glimpse I thought it was a female, but it's a dude, a weirdo with long hair, But as you can see, it's a post, man. This is a post. It's the thing also wearing nail polish. Seems like it. Fucking weirdos. The police unions call the aggression and violence that officers have been confronted with for days unacceptable and reprehensible. Days of leave have been withdrawn. Hours are being exceeded, and police deployment is being withdrawn everywhere, says NPB. Chairman Nina Kooijman on behalf of the four unions from the country and the neighborhood around the people who cannot behave normally and build barricades. Demolish the university and pull bricks out of the ground. Police are literally there to clean up the mess again. We really hope that peace will return after this eviction. This war of attrition must stop. This is nothing yet, man. It's gonna be far worse, man. Kutte protest cross borders. Mark Kutte is not happy with the developments in Amsterdam. In a message on X, the outgoing president writes that the events at and around the university clearly cross borders. Demonstrating is allowed always, but using violence against the police and causing destruction is never allowed. Stop that, the message reads. Yeah. With authority, spoken with authority. In a statement, Kutte also stands up for the Jewish Dutch people. Yeah, of course. According to him, they are unfairly blamed for the violence in Gaza more and more often and with increasing harsh words. The anti Semitism. Get the fuck out of there. The Prime Minister calls this a form of anti Semitism that we must continue to combat loud and clear. Get the fuck out of there. Rutten has been criticized for the message both from the supporters and the opponents of the demonstration. For example, he is accused of previously threatened sanctions against Israel if the country invade Rafah. Rutte called this a game changer for the Dutch government in its Israel policy, but not following up on those words now that the Israeli army is conducting a military operation started in the southern Gaza City. There were also protests at the university in Utrecht on Wednesday. More than 400 demonstrators gathered on Domplein, where the academy building of Utrecht University is located. The demonstrators carried Palestinian flags and shouted slogans such as "You, shame on you." During the evening, they went to the university library on the Drift. Just like on Tuesday evening, the courtyard was occupied. The chairman of the executive board, Anton Pijpers, fucking name, man. You know what that means in Dutch, in English? So his name is Anton Socker, like you know, a COCK Sucker, like that. Chairman of the executive board, Anton Pijpers. What a fucking name, man. Messed up, man. Talked to the demonstrators on Wednesday evening. He asked them to use the library economically. Later in the evening, Pipers announced that the demonstrators have had to leave by 12:05 a.m. at the latest. This was not heeded by the demonstrators. Ultimately, the mobile unit MA was called in and the police entered the building through the back entrance to the demonstrators out of the building. A confrontation between riot police and the demonstrators remained calm on the streets around 2:30 a.m. According to a police spokesman, there was no vandalism and no arrests have been made. About 40 demonstrators were taken away by a bus during the night from Wednesday to Thursday. They were dropped off in front of the detention center in Houten and were then allowed to go home without further consequences. To prevent further escalations, all buildings at Utrecht University will remain closed until 8 a.m. on Monday morning. Call for protest in Rotterdam. Meanwhile, students' protests seem to be spreading more and more across the country. A call also been made at Erasmus University in Rotterdam to demonstrate against the university ties with Israel. So, as you can see, these Amalekites, these small heads, they're being exposed, because, if you watch my previous video, it shows you clearly how it would be if the children of Israel, the real children of Israel, would be in Israel, and you see all these things going on, how they feel unsafe. I did a video about this female demon, Israeli demon, who was not I said it, who was afraid to go to a university in Amsterdam. She stayed home. So you see a couple of pictures, about what's going on, trash that they made, and all that. And that's the new generation, they would just want to protest, also the rainbow, the demonic six-colored flag there, fucking rainbow color shit. Yeah. But it's beautiful to see, man. It's beautiful to see, man. These are and they don't give a shit about the police, man. They don't give a shit about the mayor. That's beautiful to see, man. So this is the book of 2 Esther, chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction on draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in the hand. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah. that's what's going on. It's beautiful to see, man. It's beautiful to see. So these small heads, they want to claim that they are the people, of the Bible, that they are God's people, but everything that they do is working against them. You can see that Satan is leaving them, it's beautiful to see, man. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that, It was funny to see those things going on. And like I said, could be a little bit staged. They got their ways how to get people routed, get them ready to riot, basically. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baruch Kudash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Akim across the earth doing his work and sincerity in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.